Hello, everybody. It is Friday. It just happens to be Friday the 13th. Captain Marty here. Got quite a bit to talk about on the fishing front, and I'll be right back to do that.
At Fishing Unlimited on the Nags Head Manio Causeway, not only can you get stocked up with all the bait, tackle, and amenities necessary to fish, but you can also be your own captain. That's right. At Fishing Unlimited, you can rent one of their spacious pontoon boats to go fishing, crabbing, dolphin watching, or just to cruise the Roanoke Sound. It's family fun at its finest. Half-day and full-day rentals are available. Be your own captain at Fishing Unlimited on the Nags Head Manio Causeway. I'm sitting here with Captain Andy Ennis of Old North State Charters, and Andy, it seems as if you catch fish or you crash your boat trying to catch fish.
Well, Justin, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. When I get on my boat in the morning, it reeks of excellence. No one can hang with my stuff. I'm just a big old hairy American fishing machine. If you ain't first, you're last. Check out what I do online at oldnorthstatefishing.com. If you want to catch some fish, let's go.
So, as always, we start with our offshore fishing reports, and a little bit sketchy yesterday, a little bit sketchy today, too. At the time of recording, I'm not sure if anybody got out today or not as far as getting all the way out to the blue water. I'm thinking that the Hatteras boats did not fish yesterday. I could not find any reports, but I did have a really good talk with Captain Barry Daniels on the charter boat end game, and he ties up at the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. Would be one of my picks if I was going to charter a boat for sure. And Barry was telling me that there's been a group of boats I've gotten pretty far up on the north end. In other words, they're coming out of Oregon Inlet and they're getting north of a line that would be due east. Getting up towards Virginia Beach area, but they're out in the Gulf Stream, and the high boat on Billfish had 4. A couple boats had 1 or 2 blue marlin, but Billfishing was not as good as what they're having in Ocean City, where a boat had 18 yesterday. But Barry did say there, and even a little bit further south, if you found anything floating, a bed of sargasso weed, a old loading mat, a buoy, whatever you could find, almost all of it held mahi, and most of it would hold enough for a couple boats to go and get their limits. So that was good. And I also talked to Captain Billy Maxwell on the Tuna Fever, also out of Oregon Inlet. And Billy was telling me the day before, he didn't fish yesterday, but the day before, I think he said they had 54 blackfin tuna and 60-some dolphin, some crazy number. The blackfins are the smaller tunas, but that fishing had fell off a little bit yesterday. However, I know Arch Racher on the Pelican had like 6 big tunas, the good old-fashioned city boys, we used to call them, but the yellowfins, and they were averaging 50 pounds or bigger. So that's pretty much what happened. A few billfish, good mahi, some scattered tuna, and a wahoo or 2. There was several wahoo caught yesterday, and that's pretty normal for this time of year. Our inshore boats down in Hatteras, it's been kind of anything they can find. Big bluefish, Spanish mackerel, and drum. It's also the case for the Oregon Inlet fleet, but you can add to that the ribbon fish. Ribbon fishing has been very, very good, and a lot of inshore boats or near shore boats are doing that. I do know that Tony Tillett yesterday ran into a school of drum outside the inlet and caught some there. What else did I have? Talked about the ribbon fish, the 5 to 8 pound bluefish we've been talking about every day. Caught some of those as well. So that's what happened on the boat fishing. Now, as far as the beach and the piers, really the drum bite is on almost every evening, mostly from the end of the piers, but also a few drum up and down the beach as well. And almost everything is a yearling and a few of the big drum, but all of them over the slot for the most part, meaning that when I say the slot, that means the drum has to be a certain size, at least so many inches long, but not too many inches long. It might be 17 to 27 inches. Could be wrong on that, so don't go out and get a ticket and tell them that's what Gab Marty said. But in the slot means you can keep 1 per person per day. So most of these fish are catching off the end of the pier, the big sows. And man, is that something to see? I've been out there and watched them do that at night. It's really poetry in motion. Well, that's when everything's going right. Or it can be like a good hockey fight if it's not. So anyway, it's always entertaining. It's a great way to spend the evening after dinner to walk out on the piers and watch that going on. So the rest of the surf fishing would be same things we've been talking about: mixed bottom fish, pompano, sea mullet, spot, small bluefish, things like that. Now, I will, so before I leave and we take our break to go to the backcountry, I would say to you, the weather is not looking too good for the next 4 or 5 days. Talked to Captain Dickie Harris on the Fantastic. When I talked to Barry and Billy Maxwell, none of them felt like they're going to be fishing for the next few days. So we'll wait and see what happens, and we'll take a little break. I'll be right back.
What could possibly be more fun than watching a bottlenose dolphin swim and play in the water right beside you? Hop aboard Harbor Star Dolphin Tours at Wanchese Marina and witness this remarkable animal up close. The Harbor Star is a spacious 50-foot vessel with a wide, shady canopy that runs 2-hour trips multiple times a day, including a breathtaking sunset cruise. To book your tour, go online to wanchesemarina.com and click Harbor Star Dolphin Tours. See the majestic bottlenose dolphin up close with Harbor Star Dolphin Tours.
So the report I had from the Sound yesterday was a little bit on the sketchy side. They've been catching a lot of big drum out there on the shoals in the evening and after dark. A lot of fish around the inlets, just inside the inlet, just outside the inlet. That's pretty normal because that's where all the fish, the bait fish, funnel down to go either in or out of the inlet, and that's where they like to feed. They get up on the shoals. The reason they like the shoals is the water becomes shallow and the bait fish can't escape. They can't dive into the depths. So the shoals are always a popular feeding spot. That's actually the same reason when you're fishing in the surf, don't overcast. You don't have to try to throw a country mile. The fish chase the bait right up in the wash because then the bait have nowhere to go. So they either got to jump out of the water or they go in down near the sand and they get scooped up by the predator fish. But we do have the drum bite going on. I did not have a speckled trout report from yesterday. I do know also the headboats, their bottom fishing has improved a lot, catching all the things I just mentioned a few minutes ago. But sea mullet has been a good bite going on, some spots, some flounders which have to be released. But all in all, I'd say that fishing was pretty good. Today is Friday the 13th. What could possibly go wrong? But we'll keep you posted on anything else that happens on the fishing front. I'm glad you found us. I hope this is not your first time. I hope if it is, you'll come back and visit with us again. And we're talking about next year already and what we want to do. We got some surprises in store if you're becoming a fan of this Captain Marty podcast. So stick around. God bless you. Have a great day.